That's always been one of my goals, that I just want to help everybody. And so when I started writing this version and stuck it with I learned how to fly in the rain, I just know that I want to be who I needed growing up, who I needed as a young adult, who I need now, all of that. Like, I just want to help heal because, again, we focus so much on the problems, but we never like show a result of, yes, I'm not perfect, but I'm still flying. Like,
some of them too. The Warehouse is one of my favorites because the emotional damage in that one alone, but there are some aspects of just really being eerie and scary. So if you are a scaredy cat, I would suggest not reading them at night. But
are you kidding me? It's best read with insomnia. They were written with insomnia, you know.
I wrote Confessions of a Pick-Me Girl. We was in the pandemic on lockdown and just needed something to do. But it's basically a young girl's journey towards finding love while working through her own issues, generational curses, daddy issues, just different things that sometimes we go through. And so my prayer is that this book touch and help somebody who may be going through these issues as well. Welcome back to MJ. Today we're doing a different setup. We're doing books and brunch. I brought along some friends who are authors, and we're just gonna have a little author talk and project. So before we get into everything, I would like for each one to introduce themselves.
my name is Kwana. My name is LaQuana. I am the author of I Learned How to Fly in the Rain.
What do you do? Give us a little background history.
I'm the real MVP at everything I do.
Absolutely. Yes, you are. Absolutely.
No, but for real. I work at a children's home where I really am the MVP. I do everything there. And I work in social work. I do music. I do praise and worship on Saturdays. Mother of an annoying 12-year-old. Yeah, I'm the funniest person alive.
She is funny.
Absolutely. I can't beat that introduction at all, y'all. My name is Hybrid Janae. I am the author of The Life and Times of HBCU Drama Queen. I am also the author of my most recent project, Celestial Nightmares, Urban Legend. For my day job, I am a therapist and mental health consultant. So I am in private practice and I teach mental health first aid to the community.
So some baddies, they all got things going on. Yes.
Where your introduction?
Exactly.
You are included in the baddies.
Well, so for those who don't know, I am Jay, part of MJ, the channel. I am also a social worker, which is something we all have in common. And I am the author of Confessions of a Pick-Me Girl. And yeah, that's it about me. I'm very,
You very what?
to the point. Alright, so we're gonna have like two different segments where we're gonna, like I said, talk about our author side, and then we're gonna get into some little girl chat because we are all three friends. We all three, we like to have fun. Well, Kwana is kind of new, but
Quana ain't that new to
If
the
I went on this channel,
Quana is not that new to the group.
now you know,
It's been
I'm
a few
also known as cute thug, and the thug side of me almost came out.
but
But I have to be a Christian.
yes. So let's transition to some questions I have for you all that I think will be fun to maybe inspire up and coming authors or people who are authors and maybe have that like blockage on the next project. As you see, Hybrid Janae has 2 books that she has out. I'm working on her second and some more. Yeah, they own it, you know. So yeah, first question I have is, what inspired you to write your book or books?
Oh, I'm gonna go first every time.
Okay. I'm like, so I have always been a writer. I have always loved writing, and I think I knew I wanted to publish when I was about 12. I was like, this is the first time I read Maya Angelou's work. I read I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, and I was like, oh, I can do this. I can like write about women. I can write about Black women and our experiences. So I've always wanted to be a writer. My first project, also a collection of short stories, they both are. I started writing when I was at Clark Atlanta, which is where me and Jaleesa met. I got some advice from other writers that were like, once you write about something that you're passionate about, you won't get distracted. That will be the project that you finish. And so going to HBCU, graduating from HBCU was something I was passionate enough about to finish that project. So that's how the first book came about. And then the second book, if you know me, you know I'm a huge fan of horror, suspense, sci-fi, basically anything creepy. And so I took a chance on my second book. I was like, I've never written in these genres before, but I'm gonna try. I'm a huge fan of Joel Parker Rhodes and Octavia Butler and all these other amazing Black women who have taken chances with their writing. So I decided to try. So that's how these 2 came about.
So, what inspired me to write my book? This one right here, Miss Hybrid, inspired me. She kept saying, you need to write this and that. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, she being nice.
Actually, I actually did start in Clark because we would say, like, Hybrid was my roommate. She was my suite mate. But I snuck in her room all the time because, you know, yeah. So, she was just, everything she has said that she wanted to do, she has made it come to pass. And so, even at a young age, like, I went to college very old in my age, so I was like, this little girl is like getting it on campus and everything. But anyway, so
I'm not even gonna put you on blast by you spinning this story right now. I'm just gonna let it go.
So she was like writing, as she said then, and I was like, okay, maybe I'll play with it. And it was so trash. I don't think you even know. It was so trash. So I just stopped, and I was like, this is not for me. But fast forward to the pandemic, like I had nothing else to do, so I just began writing, and I was like, okay, maybe I got it, and that's what inspired me. Like I did want to share my story about love because I am a hopeless romantic, but I didn't know how the storyline should go, and it just all came.
I just felt like writing.
Absolutely. I had something to say.
No, but I've always loved writing. I took journalism in high school, and I actually wanted to be an anchor woman.
Yeah, I can see.
It's not too late.
Right.
Where the dream is gone.
But I wanted to be.
This her shooting her shot.
I wanted to be an anchor woman because my reasons was kind of bad, like off of player stuff. She was.
She made it.
Yes, look, you can come from any background. So at the end of the movie, it was like, as for me, you watch the news, don't you? That always been. So I wanted to be an anchor woman because I was like, this just seems like cool. But then once I got in junior year, I used to write stories to my friends, like just be writing stuff, and they used to like read them and like, man, you good? But I thought it was just something fun to do. So then when I got older, I never really saw myself for real, actually writing a book until life just was happening. I'm like, you know what, I should write about this because this is stupid and nobody will believe me. But then so one day I was at work, I was working night shift, and what else to do? So free computer, free time, I just got to typing, and I took a couple of book writers courses that told me like to talk into your phone. And so I was just
talking into my phone when I drive on my way to work, and then when I get there, I would just keep typing. And I had a book that I wrote down my line. And Ivory also inspired me because after I had found out, like, she wrote her first book, I was like, hey, read this. And then she read the book that I did not publish.
Y'all not gonna gas me up in this interview, like.
Did you not? I did. I know when you read this book, you were like, this is not what I read.
I saw the similarities.
You see how?
When
Yeah.
you're a writer, it takes many edits. It takes many, like looking back and doing self-reflection and like your personal experiences really impact how you edit the book and the thing that the public actually gets. So I got like at least 5 versions of every story in each of these books, but that wasn't the version that the general public needed to get,
Yeah, that's what.
So the book that I read was still amazing. It's just a little bit different than the one that everybody else got.
Right.
And
Okay. Look, they got what they needed to see.
Absolutely.
The next question. What to you are the most important elements of good writing? Elements to me that are important for good writing is do you. Like, I think with me, I was looking at different like people's YouTube channels or just trying to get an outline, Googling and researching things, but it really didn't work. So I had to figure out what worked best for me and my writing style and how I went about. I think you should first, of course, start with your intro and then maybe go with the ending, like start from the beginning. So this is my process. I started with the beginning and then some of the ending because I really didn't know how to end it, and then let the other chapters come in. Like they weren't in sync.
Yeah, I agree with you. Just write. Just do what you're gonna do. Like she said, for me, I just wrote. It didn't even have to make sense. I just put it all together and went back. Like we were saying, I already had really wrote a book, but it wasn't what I wanted the public to read. Like it just was my words. So I found a better way of saying what I was saying to what I was okay with the public reading. So that's I think I agree.
Definitely will agree with everything that's already been said. Even what you were saying before about kind of having your own voice, like the writers that I look up to the most, they all took risk. And if people who studied, literature, like probably first would have read their work before they were famous, probably would have been like, this breaks all the rules of writing, but they found their own voice. And so when you write, not being afraid to have your own voice and not being afraid to have your stories end or go in ways that are unconventional.
So, do you view writing as a kind of spiritual practice?
Yes, and therapeutic, very therapeutic. What I do now, even in my daily life, I tell my girls all the time, hey, don't curse me out. Go write it on a piece of paper. That way, you're not disrespecting me if you write it down. Mm-hmm. Or before you go argue with somebody, another resident or whatever, write it down. Like, I always encourage them to write because nobody can take your voice when you write it. So that's the way I look at it. So definitely, you can write to God. I mean, He hears us, and nobody can say again anything about what you put on paper. Like they can try, but it's your voice.
I agree as well. I can get behind writing being spiritual. Words have a lot of value because there's so much intention behind it. Mm-hmm. So I definitely think that writing is spiritual, just like the words we use for prayer or the words we use for any other spiritual practice. Mm-hmm. Writing can be the same thing.
Because I know some prayers within it.
That's
prayers. Okay. At what point do you think someone should call themselves a writer? And then the second part of this question is, do you believe there's a difference between a writer and an author?
Okay. I think that, a writer is a person who writes. I think that sometimes people call themselves aspiring writers when they should just call themselves writers. Like, it's a lot of people walking around with amazing art that maybe people won't see because maybe they won't be a published writer. but they're still a writer. And so I think once you do it, just like any other action, like you are a writer. If it's something that you do intentionally, if it's something you spend your time doing, then I feel like you can call yourself a writer. In terms of like an author versus a writer, I think there's lots of different ways to be a storyteller. So I have a lot of friends that do things in music. So like maybe they're a songwriter, or maybe they are storytellers in like different mediums like poetry. So they may not necessarily be like an author, but they're still writers. They're still people who tell stories or craft stories. That's my understanding.
I agree with Bree said. Yeah, so another project that I'm kind of working on is songwriting. And I come to the realization that it's always been in me because I am a writer. So if I can write a book and journal and all this other stuff, then I can absolutely write a song. So I gave it a chance, and it's going pretty well right now.
Y'all gonna hear a snippet at the end.
Oh yeah.
Don't tell me that.
I'm like, we it's amazing.
But Arthur's, I feel like, is like what she said, just however if you put the art out and you do it, publish it, yes.
I agree with both of them. I personally don't consider myself an author, but I do feel like I am a writer. Not like just a deep writer who is just done this. No, I do like to write from time to time my thoughts and feelings because I'm very emotional. So like you were saying with how you make your girls write it out, that's kind of how I am. So
You are an author though.
Right.
I mean, I'm like, you literally are an author.
yeah.
It sounds like you saying you don't feel like you're a literary.
Okay.
Which I would agree with. I don't feel like I'm a literary either. Like these are people that like maybe like studied like fine arts or like studied like writing or English or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
They have a different way in which they view being an author. But you still.
All right. So another question that I have is, do you believe in writer's block? I'll start. Yes. Like I said, when I was writing Confessions of a Pick-Me Girl, I started with the beginning and then part of the end, and it took me forever. I kept telling her, I don't know how to end it. It took me forever to like come up with how to end it. Honestly, it wasn't until I turned it into the publisher and she did, her little magic on it and everything, and then I was like, okay, she made me sound good at the end or whatever. But yeah, I do believe in writer's block.
Absolutely. I started my book in 2017, and it didn't get published until 2022, and it was because I didn't know how to end it. I didn't know where to go and exactly the words that I wanted, and it wasn't until 2021 Christmas I had got a brand new laptop, and I picked it back up, and then I was able to figure out how to flow from there.
So I'm gonna sound like I'm being like extra when I say this, but like yes, there is such thing as writer's block, and I feel like as a person that took 5 years in between like publishing a different book, I've learned that like sometimes that is just like a spiritual thing happening, just telling you to like cool off a bit. So like if I had just published when I thought I was ready to publish, the stuff wouldn't be the same. So like in hindsight, it doesn't really feel like writer's block. It just kind of feels like a rest now, my child. Like you will figure out what you need to say when you're supposed to. So yeah, writer's block, but also like I don't always view it as a bad thing. Sometimes you gotta chill.
You know what? I can agree with that. Because now that you're saying it, I wasn't writing this, but I wrote a stupid Christmas play. And
You got a Christmas play?
Girl, it was so dumb. It was called Christmas in the Hood.
Oh, that's probably so amazing.
It's so stupid. But I worked on a lot of different projects, just smaller. So maybe I didn't have writer's block. Just couldn't finish finish this because it wasn't the time for this.
Absolutely.
But the other things that came up, I was able to accomplish. I'll let you read.
Side note, Christmas in the Hood is trademarked. So if you are watching this.
But you did, the play did happen.
Yeah, copywritten, so don't copy her.
Yes.
But if Hallmark is watching.
Period.
Lifetime.
Tyler Perry.
I can do past it. Let me know. And I got you. That sounded lit. It's giving me the original Christmas movie. So yeah, we'll be in touch.
How did you celebrate when you finished your book?
How did I celebrate? I be having launch parties. So my first book, I had a launch party just at my parents' house. I didn't really think nobody was gonna come. I was like super anxious about it. And like a lot of people came. Well, to me, like 30 people is a lot of people. So like 30 people who care about me and support writing, support authors came out. I read a little bit. People bought books and well, you should meet this person. So I like to do like a little lunch party for my most recent project. I am still kind of inching my way into in-person events and things of that nature. So I did a virtual launch to celebrate the release of this book and had a lot of fun doing that too. Shout out to my keen imagination.
Yes. How did you celebrate?
Is that which part? Like actually having the published copy or just
Either.
So after I was done and we were in the works of copywriting and the binding and all of that, I sat at home and I was proud of myself. I had a couple wines. Afterwards, when the public found out, I did have a book signing, which I feel like was amazing. It went well. Can't wait to have another one because now I know everything I did wrong, and we're gonna have a party. Like I thought that this was supposed to be this big thing that was supposed to be big. Catch me on the next one.
Yes. I did the same thing. I went back home to Houston, Texas, and did a book signing / a thank you to my family and friends for their support throughout the whole process. And yeah, it was good. But I agree. That costs a lot of money.
I'm ready for the next one.
Yeah.
Look, I thought you were supposed to sit down and eat and have entertainment. I said, when I seen, you just signed books. I'm doing something.
Y'all sleeping on the virtual. That's why I'm excited. Everybody's like, let me try in person. I'm like, child, never. Because I'm not about to pay for y'all to have a party.
Right.
But I wanted to do something like this too, also to make people want to read. Like, it had some people who were. So again, I figured out all the things I went wrong. So next time I have it right, and we're gonna have a party.
Yes. And that's what this is all about too. I don't know if you feel the same, but this is my first rodeo. So I made a lot of mistakes on this journey. But if I decide to write the next one, or even while still going on this one, it's to learn from those mistakes. And how about you? On your first one, did you learn?
I absolutely learned stuff. It turned out okay because the people that came were trustworthy, but I was like, why I had this lunch at my mama's house? I was like, Mom, I'm gonna have all these people at your house. I'm like, okay. Like, that was nice that worked out. But I'm definitely like, yeah, some stuff I would have done different, which is why this time I was like, let me just do a virtual launch, definitely online marketing a lot more than I did the first time. My first go round, I also did like a Kickstarter, which was nice, but like, I should ask for more money. That is like the creative person problem. It's like, when we do ask for support around our art, we usually don't ask for enough. And I wish that, like, I know this was like 5-6 years ago, but I wish that I had a little bit more confidence in my work to like ask for more startup for my project.
Have y'all taken with your writing or with like marketing the book or anything like that?
I think writing was a risk. Publishing it, putting it out there, because when it's your first book, you're like, will people read this? Will this buy? Putting it out there in the stores, doing a pop-up shop, whatever. It's a lot of risky stuff that I I have just can now say that I have tried. So, like you say, you live and you learn. But yeah.
Absolutely. I agree with all of that. And also, I would say switching genres was kind of a risk for me. When I wrote The Life and Times, I assumed that most of my supporters were going to be like, black women and girls that were college age. But it was actually a lot of black women and girls that were like in their 30s and 40s. Like, I did have some younger people like it, but most people who liked my first book were nostalgic. Like, they were, oh, I remember college. Like, that was my folks. Mm-hmm. So then switching it up and writing about like horror or writing about like creepy stuff, I'm like, well, I don't know who my fans. I just call them friends because do you have real fans when you're an indie author? But I'm like, yeah, I don't know if my friends is gonna be messing with this because I don't know if that's their interest. But I just took a risk anyway. People who like my writing are gonna give it a try. So, but it was a risk though. I was like, well. Don't nobody buy it. I like it.
Yeah. And that's all.
I agree with both of them. Like the whole process is a risk because you're putting a lot of money into it, and you have to have faith that like this is really stepping out on faith and just letting God do this what He do. Okay, what is the best way to market your book?
Social media. Definitely social media.
Okay.
I've gotten into trying to find like creative ways to do things. I actually have a consultant that I talk to that kind of coaches me through like different marketing strategies, and like I have her stay on me because I want it to be another 5 years before I have an event, and stay on top of things. Shout out to Melissa Collins, who is a writing consultant. But one of the things that she's coached me around is just like, posting frequently. Like, it's one thing to have author social media pages, but like, what are you putting on them? Like, do they actually relate to your career as a writer? Like, and just really challenging yourself. So, yeah, that's how I've been doing it.
And she been heavy on it. Another popular author. Whom would you choose? I'll answer it first. So, I like self-help books or like relationship-wise books, and I don't know if anyone is familiar with him, but he has like different books. When I was single, it was a book that is titled something single. Please forgive me. Just look up Tony Gaskins and you will see the book. But he kind of gets you together. He's not like a Kevin Samuel type, but he helps you reflect and hold you accountable for things. So I have like every one of his books, follow him on social media, and I just want him to be like, hey sis, come on, and let's do this and that, or whatever.
Writers that I would probably want to meet have gone to glory, unfortunately. Maya Angelou, like I said before, Octavia Butler, Toni Morrison, most of them have made their transition. The ones that are still here, Jewel Rose and N.K. Jemisin, and there's someone I'm gonna kick myself. Is it Tanner Duke? She also writes fiction, kind of horror, suspense. Just really amazing Black women that have done some cool stuff with writing. So, yeah.
Unfortunately. The only one that so
Did you say wait a minute? Did you say unfortunately?
Maya Angelou. So I've never even thought about that. So Maya Angelou would back in high school, she was one of those people. And what is Marilyn Monroe or Mary Monroe? She wrote what's the girl name? She got a God Don't Like Ugly, God Still Don't Like Ugly. She got a whole bunch of those series, and I love those. And then everybody knows, same. So,
Yes.
So, but I never wanted to meet them though. So I don't know. I've never thought about that. It's just if they have, I read their books. But
side note, didn't we meet Zane one time? Did think she did. I feel like she did.
I don't know, but yeah, Zane, what you be on? What you be writing?
How I need to know.
Iconic. That's what she be on.
Yes, I'm saying like her books take you.
Right.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna call no names out in case they watch this, but me and my friends definitely used to be trying to like sneak and steal people's Zane books and be reading them and stuff, and then we, get home slide underneath. Make sure nobody know we was reading that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So you guys used to read, Mary Monroe.
Okay.
Mary.
Oh, wow. I know Marilyn Monroe was urban fiction.
Did you guys used to read the Babysitter's Club?
Yes.
Because I think that's what started the whole. I've always liked to read, but the Babysitter's Club.
What?
I don't think that was her era. Wait, you younger than her?
No, I'm not.
I was
She's
reading
not.
stuff from the Harlem Renaissance because I was a weird kid, and I was just kind of like, I was reading a lot of like Langston Hughes.
I forgot about
Poetry from Claude McKay, just like, yeah, Richard Wright randomly. I was really young reading some real traumatic stuff. Now that I'm saying it out loud.
We was being fast.
I was getting a little bit fast, but that was high school. I feel like, pre-high school childhood, I was like very sophisticated in like what I was reading.
Yeah, the Babysitter's Club and Goosebumps.
Yeah,
So what advice would you give to other writers or inspiring authors?
Right. A lot of people don't become writers because they don't start writing. So my first advice is to believe in yourself and to just write.
Absolutely agree with that. And don't let fear of it not doing well be the thing that keeps you from even trying. There are people who are afraid of failure, and then sometimes there are people who are afraid of success. But whatever the case may be, if you feel it on your heart to write, definitely do so. Everything else will work out the way it's supposed to. And be nice to yourself when you edit. That's what the editing phase is for. It's for you to edit. So it's a process. Just don't stop.
Well, ladies, I love each and one of y'all's projects.
Did you answer the question?
I agree with what y'all said. Yes. I agree with what y'all said. Yeah. Right. Just right. And do you. Like, don't worry about what, like she said, don't worry about what others have to say. Do you and just write. It'll come together how it's supposed to come. And take your time. Yes. So, yeah. I love each and one of y'all projects. Javi, I'm not gonna lie, I got through like Ditch Day, halfway through Ditch Day, that chapter, and I was like, okay, I don't know if I can keep pushing through the rest of the book.
You
So, yeah.
I did my job, man.
So, I have not been able to finish the rest of it, but I am going to. I was like, oh no. Yes.
What part scared? I need to know what part scared you though.
It was I don't think it's more so scary, like you said. It's more so suspense.
Yeah.
So it's just like figuring out like what's gonna happen. And I'm the type of person, I've always been that type, like read ahead if I really want to know the ending. But then in this one, I'm just like, no, like stay committed.
I mean, if you skip to the end of my stories, it's not gonna tell you nothing. You have to be along for the journey.
Okay.
So yeah. Yeah.
So yes.
Well, thank you.
And this book is so good too. What did you think of that, Miss? I call her Lady Q because I like Lady Q.
So you didn't put my book down because you were scared, and you didn't rename her off the I just brought y'all on here to rename your
Yes, but I think it's very inspirational. You can finish her book up like real quick. Like that, you know, learn some things. But I think what I like most about yours was the church hurt. And yes. So, I think each one of these ladies have some very good projects and even more better things coming in place and in to come. And I am just so happy to have you girls as my friends. And yeah.
Just wanna be with you.
whole new thought she was gonna give us the card. She has cards.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have everybody pick at least 2. Speaking time.
Can I flip them?
Yeah, you can read them. And then you should have one. It's like choose between A or B if you have one with A or B. Okay.
I'll tell y'all off camera why I picked it.
Okay. Choose A or B out of B. If you want to choose a different one, tell me. I thought I chose a good one.
Oh, I'm excited about this one.
I hope you got the one I wanted you to get. Okay. All right. So, yeah, we're going to ask each other one question. I'll put it to cards. Or you could choose who you want to answer it. Whichever. You can be everybody answer or you choose who you want to answer. So we're going to start with like you.
Okay. I was trying to think of my answer, but so.
You ask us. You don't have to answer.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
You either we both get the answer or you choose who you want to answer.
Okay. You both get the answer.
I don't know if I like how you just looked at me.
Well, never mind. It ain't gonna be that fun. Hold on. Okay. We'll just go with it. Both of you guys get the answer. What movie title describes your last relationship? Can I switch it? This relationship.
Okay. I was like,
What movie title?
Yeah.
It's complicated.
It's not even a movie.
I thought it was a movie.
It is.
Let me see.
Let me look it up.
I thought it was a movie. Let me see. I'm trying to think of a name. I'm trying to think of a movie that would fit. It's one of them rom-coms that I used to like. What is the name of that movie? It got like Sanaa Lathan in it or something. What's the name of that movie?
Promise you this?
I know that.
Okay.
I know that.
Oh, I'm supposed to answer too?
If you want to.
No.
Ask your last question.
I don't know which one it is, but okay. Do you think I have a more dominant or more submissive personality? Do you have any examples?
So we answered this about you.
Yeah, I guess.
We both want to answer, or you?
Yeah,
Sure.
both of y'all can answer.
Okay. Ooh. Dominant or submissive? I feel like you can be a mixture of both.
I think it depends on the environment,
Mhm.
as it should.
Yeah.
You know, like there's some times where people have to step up and be dominant, and then there's a situation where you can be submissive.
I agree.
Okay. I agree.
I got it. This is for both of you. What's a habit, compulsion, or relationship you wish you could quit? Please don't say I'm in a relationship.
I have it procrastinating. That I wish I could quit.
Yeah, I'll probably have to go with procrastination too. Also, maybe, I don't know the right word that I would want to use, but sometimes, gotten a lot better, but sometimes I won't go for something that I want to do because I lack the confidence in the ability that it will be good or that I am actually capable of doing it, but I have been living my fearless life lately, so I'm working on that.
It's because, you know, when you're in your 30s, you just be on a different level than you were in your 20s. She's new to the 30s, so we got to kind of give her, like, let her go.
So far, so good. I've been feeling real auntie-ish this last week. So, okay. Oh, Lord. I feel like y'all gonna flame me. Okay. Describe the first time we met, if you remember.
Oh, I remember.
Oh, Jesus.
Go.
ahead, Kwanda.
And what was your first impression?
Okay. So, if I'm not mistaken, the first time I met you, I think it was at your mother-in-law house for like Christmas or something. Some type of holiday. Something.
Anybody gonna crop this out?
No, I think she's gonna be okay.
I'm not gonna say that crazy. I'm not gonna say that crazy. It was like, that's Bree. This is my girlfriend. I'm like, oh, hi, Bree. I was with a demon, you know.
We're gonna have to edit this.
And I just thought like, oh, because I think that was like right in the era where you just wrote the book or was right. You know, I'm like, this is a smart little girl. Like, a young girl. I'm like, she might have looked like that's cool. That's what's up. And I was happy for Chris because I you know, I never knew he had a girlfriend or anything going on. So I was like, you know, I was happy for him because I didn't see Chris that much. When we seen him, he was pretty much by himself. So now we're at whatever this holiday thing is, and everything was good. I'm like, oh yeah, she cool. But that was just that. So I really got to see how cool you was at somebody's birthday party in the basement. And Kyrie was just funny. Like, I was like, cause
I'm like, what was I doing? I just
a lot. Like, you was just cracking jokes. And I was like, oh, she's cool. Because see, at the house you was a little more conservative, but you let your hair down when we got it in the basement.
Yeah, absolutely. That's my style, you know. Gotta read the
so I'm like, okay, so she cool. Like, we just was cracking jokes. And I'm like, yeah, that's what's up.
Oh my gosh, she really finna fly me.
No, I'm not. So again, we met in college. Now, henceforth, I didn't go to college until I was like 22 years old. Kyrie was fresh out of high school, and I'm like, she was my sweet mate too. So our first time meeting, my parents were there, like, you know, dropping off at the dorm, setting up or whatever. And she walked over with her parents and introduced herself. And I was like, look at this little baby. So, like, I asked her later on that night.
Oh my god, I was like, wait a minute.
My roommate, me and her, you know, said we were going to go bond later on that night. So I asked Kyrie if she wanted to join us. And she was like, no, I'm just going to stay in the room. So I was like, okay. Well, I wish I would have stayed with her in that room. Let's just leave it there. And yeah, since that night, I just made sure wherever she was, I was. And I think I annoyed her a lot, but yeah.
No, you did not. Like, in real life, like, no, I probably would have had to bring my behind back home if it was not for you. Like, thank you for being patient with me. Like, I don't even hang out with younger people, and like, you was still rocking with me. I was doing some dumb kid stuff, and you were super sweet and super patient. It's like, no, you're not getting on my nerves. We had them all. So,
yeah. I thought she was very nice and reserved, but then she, like kind of said, she. When I seen her switch it, I was like, oh, okay.
right. What they're saying is, you know, when the sun goes down, I become a werewolf. It's essentially what happens. So.
All right, ladies. So, the questions I have for you are, how would you describe you now with that kid like you? Whoever want to go first.
Childhood, you describe me. She said that she's see, I'm trying to think of a better way of saying that. She would be very proud and be like, you tight. I'm okay with who you are. Like, you still have a lot to learn, but I understand why this happened because it has made you who you are today.
Would she be proud of you? Or would she like you?
Yes, she could be proud.
What about you?
I think she would be like, I can't believe you did it, you doofus. I think she would be really proud, and she would also be like, "Why you don't have locks yet?" But other than that, I feel like little me would be like, "You did that. You absolutely did that."
So, other people here who is overdue for some kind words, let's offer some good vibes now. I think this is something we all can do. So let me reread it. So, of the people here who is overdue for some kind words, let's offer some good vibes now.
I'm gonna go first. Okay. I don't know if you want to air this part or not, so I'm just gonna give my disclaimer because I'll be all the way real for a minute. My kind words are to Quana. I think you are absolutely amazing. I think you are a great mom. I think you're a genuine person. For the brief period of time where I feel like me and my husband were coming around a little bit more with like our church community and family, you were one of the only reasons that like I felt safe going. Like you were one of the only people that I feel like made me feel comfortable and made me feel safe and just had really good vibes. I think you are amazing. I'm so proud of you for writing your book, and I'm really happy that like I get to be friends with you and like get to know you better. So, I don't even want to make it weird. They'd be like, I'm like, I just see what Quana doing. I'm like, nah, I'm leaving her alone. But you can see what I'm doing. I mean, yeah. Jaleesa, again, thank you for being my friend. We have been friends for 12 years now. Yeah. I've been through a lot of personality changes in the last 12 years, but I feel like I'm kind of still the same, but like you've been my friend through a lot of stuff. And again, I appreciate your patience with me. And I'm also very proud of you and the person that you are, how you care about kids and like the community and just being great. And for planning this, so thank you.
Thank you. Quana, me and Harvey kind of said this last before without you knowing, but you really were like the only person we kind of like. And, well, not like.
I'm like, you're going to have to, you're going to have to.
Like, we felt safe with.
Yeah.
At that environment. And so, yeah. And it's funny how that works. Like, y'all came around. So, I'm very proud of you for your book. I really want you to sing the song, but you already know. And just, like, you have so many ideas. I'll be like, hey, that's dope. And I believe that you can achieve it all. You just continue to go after it. And I can't wait to see what's next from you. I love your daughter. Now she's my best friend. And I think you are a great mother. And don't let nobody tell you different. Keep doing you. Hi, Bree. Oh my goodness! Like I said, since day one I have met her, she has accomplished every goal she has put out, and she does it gracefully. Like if she is having a breakdown or whatever, nobody will know, because
my husband will know. My husband will know.
She shows up and she does it. And she is one of those friends too who is very giving, and it's nothing. If you need it, she's gonna give it to you. Even if you don't ask, she's just very giving. I'm just like, girl, chill out. Whatever. But she has been like that since I've always known her, and I'm just so happy to see the woman that she has grown to be. Because she was no Gerber baby. She is my Gerber baby, but yeah. I'm gonna have to stop calling you that when you become a mom. But
I mean, I will still be somebody's Gerber baby somewhere in the world. Thank you.
So, hi, Bree. Like I said when I first met you, I was like, oh, she's a little girl, is smart. Like, she wrote a book. I was intrigued by that. And then we've had, conversations, and I thought, like, oh, she cool, because, everybody you can't, I'm always me, but I know who to, but, you guys, Hyrie, you've never been judgmental. You've always been cool, and I know you have heard a lot. But I was saying this, like, I appreciate you and Chris, because y'all never changed no matter what y'all heard. Every time y'all see me, it's always been welcoming and loving and all of that. And yeah, I appreciate it so much. And yeah, I'm so glad to be able to be your friend, because I'm a little upset because he was trying to get the little picture and you just kept on not feeling good and all this stuff.
I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on. But y'all should know I get sick at like the drama.
But yes, I'm so glad to be your friend and connecting with you. And I'm so glad that you have connected with me, because it takes two, you know. So I'm so glad to be chosen.
So funny.
And Lisa, oh my goodness. You know, when I first met Jaleesa, she told us she eat nothing. We had to drive around, so we had to always go to a restaurant because she swore she only ate fish.
I ain't even gonna waste y'all time.
So we had we always would go try to eat and all that, and Marcus would be like, oh, we gotta go because Jaleesa only eat fish, and like, we get in the basement because I see new things when we get in the basement. She's putting something on her plate and it ain't fish. So I'm like, I thought she didn't eat meat. And now we eat meat together. But ever since I met her, like, I'm like, Jaleesa, she just don't say nothing. But she be dying laughing. So I'm like, Jaleesa thinks I'm funny. Like, I can go do stand-up comedy with Jaleesa because she be cracking up. But now I'm glad that we have gotten closer, and whenever I want to do something stupid, she be down for it. For the most part, as long as we're not gonna die or anything like that. Yes. And I appreciate that. Again, thank you for choosing me, because again, I'm sure you have heard a lot, seen a lot, but thank you for never switching up, and I appreciate both of you guys so much.
Yes. So again, I want to thank you both for coming on this platform and joining me and just discussing your projects. I want us to finish up. If you could just tell people how to reach you, if you want to discuss what's next for you or anything like that.
You can reach me at Instagram and Facebook, Quanita Arthur, and Gmail, quanitaarthur@gmail.com. You can also, if you would like a copy of I Learned How to Fly in the Rain, it's an inspirational book. You can find that on Amazon. My next few projects, I got a lot of my sleeves, so keep a lookout.
Okay. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook. I'm so sorry if you are on any other social media platform outside of that, but Auntie is not. So catch me on Instagram or Facebook. You can also contact me on my website, www.hyrejanae.online.
And you can always find me here on MJ on YouTube and also on Instagram, 88m.J88, JAE88. And yes, we thank y'all for watching. You can also get a copy of Confessions of a Pygmy Girl on Amazon. And Hyrie books, all of these books are on Amazon, so you can get us all from there. So yeah, bye.
Ooh.